What if the world you see each dawn is only half true, and the real story plays out in your sleep? Vikings believed dreams were doors to other realms, warnings from gods, and messages from the dead. Tonight, we step across that threshold, moonlight filtering through the dragonhead prow of a Viking ship, casting serpentine shadows that ripple like living spirits. A lone sleeper lies wrapped in wolf pelts on a bedroll, breath visible in the cold night air as his eyelids flicker with unrest. Close up on a carved wooden dream mask, resting on a stool nearby. Faintly glowing beneath flickering torchlight, its runes pulsing with ethereal energy. The gentle hush of oars dipping in water, sounding as if echoing through the sleeper's mind. A distant raven's call bleeds softly into the soundtrack of dreams. The faint metallic tremor of a lyre, string half heard, half remembered adds a haunting melody. Join us as we unmask the Viking dream world and discover beliefs so bizarre they still haunt us. The scene opens in the deep midnight hours inside a turf-roofed Viking longhouse. The hearth's dying embers crackle and pop, casting dancing shadows across aged wooden walls. The atmosphere is hushed, suspended between the waking world and the mystical unknown. The camera slowly pans over the flickering firelight and the darkened interior, setting a mood thick with tension and sacred mystery. A hooded figure moves carefully by candlelight, the soft glow illuminating ancient rune-carved objects nearby, foreshadowing the spiritual journey about to unfold. Sigrid, the Longhouse's dreamseer, sits cloaked in shadows, arranging birchbark runes on a low table by candlelight. Her weathered hands move with practiced grace, laying the symbols like a sacred map. She embodies the liminal bridge between the mortal world and the spirit realm, skilled in interpreting the cryptic language of dreams. The soft flicker of candle flames highlights the glowing runes, imbuing the scene with an aura of power and mystery. Through her ritual, she prepares to unveil messages hidden in the night's visions. Eric, a young farmer, lies restless beneath layers of heavy fur. His face is pale and flushed with sweat, his eyelids twitching as fragmented words escape his lips. His breathing quickens with the rising intensity of a troubling dream. The camera lingers on his strained expressions, capturing the palpable fear and urgency gripping him. The cold breath escaping his mouth mingles with the shadows cast by the hearthfire, underscoring the thin veil separating his sleep from ominous realities beyond. Sigrid moves swiftly and confidently, placing a carved, rune-inscribed paddle gently against Eric's forehead. Her fingers steady, she listens carefully as his muttered words unfold. Slowly, the runes on the paddle begin to emit a faint, otherworldly glow, pulsing softly in the candlelight. This ritual touch serves as a protective binding, a spiritual safeguard designed to contain and interpret the power of Eric's troubling vision, turning chaotic fear into manageable prophecy. The scene is suffused with solemn reverence and ancient wisdom. Eric suddenly cries out, "Freya, the sun has turned black." His eyes snap open, wide with terror and disbelief. The ominous phrase signals a dark, portentan apocalyptic warning embedded in Viking cosmology. Sigrid murmurs a calming incantation, her voice low and steady, weaving faith and ritual into the moment. The rune's glow intensifies, embracing the vision to hold it safely within the Longhouse's spiritual boundaries. The scene pulses with foreboding energy, marking a crossroads between fate and free will. Eric's voice shakes as he confesses, "I saw the dead walk the fields." The haunting image blurs the line between life and the spirit world, evoking Viking beliefs about the restless, dead, and supernatural omens. The moment is charged with dread and wonder, warning that the veil between realms has thinned. Eric clings to Sigrid's arm, seeking comfort as shadowy figures move eerily across misty fields in his vision, foreshadowing doom and upheaval for the living. Sigrid's solemn nod speaks volumes, an unspoken acknowledgement of the grave portent. The weight of Eric's vision settles heavily upon them, foreshadowing challenges yet to come. The hearth's dying glow flickers softly, mirroring the uncertainty in their hearts. In a sterile sleep laboratory, the pulse of modern technology governs our understanding of rest. Patients wired with EEG sensors yield data charting REM cycles and sleep disorders, as doctors and researchers interpret brain activity through glowing monitors. Sleep aids, from melatonin supplements to cognitive apps, promise control over the subconscious. Meanwhile, social media is awash with people sharing their nightmares and seeking meaning through algorithms and crowd wisdom. This scientific and technological ecosystem frames sleep as a physiological function to be managed, diagnosed, and optimized far from mystical or divine. Beneath soot-blackened rafters, a Viking skald's hut hums with ritual power. Charcoal-drawn dream glyphs twist and spiral on wooden planks, each symbol a sacred rune capturing prophecy and warning. Juniper, incense, smoke snakes through the air, enveloping the space in a fragrant mist charged with spiritual energy. Here, dreams are not mere images but vital messages from gods and ancestors, carefully transcribed and preserved. The skald sits cross-legged, eyes closed in meditation, bridging waking and dreaming worlds. Sleep is a liminal voyage, a sacred passage where fate is glimpsed and interpreted through the language of runes and ritual. Runic dreamglyphs were more than decoration. They served as mnemonic devices and magical talismans. Vikings inscribed these symbols to capture the essence of prophetic dreams, linking human experience to the cosmos and divine will. These glyphs often foretold battles, deaths, or fortunes, their meanings passed orally and visually to guide leaders and clans. Dream inscriptions connected earthly events with celestial patterns, reflecting a worldview where fate was intertwined with supernatural messages. The glyphs acted as legal evidence in disputes, spiritual safeguards, and cultural law, turning dreams into societal tools. When nightmares haunted sleep, Vikings acted decisively. Rituals involved rune wards, offerings to Veses, and nighttime charms intended to dispel evil omens and rebalance spiritual forces. These rites were communal and binding, often performed with chants and the use of bones, herbs, and amulets. Failure to honor or counteract a bad dream could lead to social repercussions or legal consequences, underscoring the weight of these beliefs. Nightmares were viewed as real threats, portents requiring tangible interventional linking mental and physical well-being with community stability. Women chanting by firelight, casting runestones, close-ups of ritual objects glowing faintly, shadowy figures performing ceremonies. Today, many turn to Google and forums for dream interpretations, seeking psychological comfort or curiosity's sake. For Vikings, dreams were integral to law and life, often as binding as spoken agreements. Elders debated dream prophecies over fires, and leaders made decisions shaped by visions. Ignoring or disrespecting dreams could bring calamity or dishonor. This cultural divergence highlights how dreams shifted from sacred mandates to personal introspection in modernity. Modern science often labels dreams as random neurological noise, fleeting images with no inherent meaning. Vikings wove dreams into their cultural fabric, infusing them with spiritual and political significance. The emotional gravity of dreams shaped identity, governance, and fate itself, transforming vulnerability into potent power. This belief elevated the dreamer's role from passive sleeper to active seer and decision-maker. Close-up of a Viking warrior's intense eyes, superimposed with ethereal dream imagery blending battlefield and spiritual symbols. Dreams transcend time and culture, not merely brainwaves, but windows into collective fears, hopes, and cosmic order. The Vikings' binding beliefs remind us that beneath the veil of sleep lies a realm rich with meaning and mystery. Whether dismissed or revered, every dream carries the potential for insight and transformation, if only we dare to listen. Dreamlike montage blending starfields, runestones, sleeping faces, and shifting shadows fading into dawn light. Viking dream lore intertwined magic, lore, and medicine where dreams served as portals through which chieftains gained legitimacy. Raids were forewarned, madness cured, and witches condemned. In fact, these visions shaped the very core of Viking society, blending mystical insight with practical governance and healing. Because of this, dream truths held power equal to spoken word, forging a world where night and day governed fate alike. Ethereal dream imagery drifts over scenes of chieftains, debating in council and ritual healing ceremonies beneath flickering torchlight. Moreover, seeresses practiced cybercomplex trance rituals, weaving spells that allowed them to enter or manipulate others' dreams. These sacred rites, steeped in smoke and whispered incantations, guided leaders' decisions and cursed foes in shadowed liminal spaces. Importantly, skill and secrecy were essential, as such magic balanced on the edge between blessing and peril. A woman in trance is surrounded by smoke and candlelight, faintly glowing runic talismans held reverently in her hands. Beyond simple letters, runes served as dream scripts, carved symbols capturing prophetic visions and immortalizing night messages. These dream runes enabled seers and warriors alike to interpret and share sacred revelations, thus making intangible dreams into communal knowledge. As a result, physical inscriptions transformed fleeting visions into lasting legal and spiritual texts. Close-ups reveal fingers tracing glowing symbols carved into wood and bone beneath torchlight. Furthermore, Vikings regarded sleep oaths as binding as spoken vows. Contracts and promises sworn in dreams bore full legal weight. Since nightmares acted as divine judgment, they influenced disputes and cemented alliances. Hence, these dream-bound pacts became critical tools for clan cohesion and conflict resolution, blending spiritual conviction with societal order. Heated debates unfold among men exchanging runic stones as dream sequences fade into council chambers. In addition, herbal dream pillows stuffed with valerian, mugwort, and other botanicals, along with smoke fumigation of sleeping quarters, were employed to cleanse bad visions and mental afflictions. These treatments, therefore, fused medicine and magic, revealing a Viking grasp of mind-body health long before modern psychiatry. Hands weave herb sachets, while smoke curls through timber beams, and a sleeper's serene face glows softly in candlelight. Accordingly, anthropologists, folklorists, and neuroarchaeologists combine ancient texts and archaeological finds to unravel Viking dream lore, unveiling a culture where night journeys held as much weight as daylight deeds in shaping society. Interviews show researchers studying runes and ancient artifacts. Finally, prepare to cross the boundary between night and knowledge. We will explore where Viking minds wandered, how their laws were etched in sleep, and why their dream world remains a haunting enigma, ancient realm where belief shaped fate itself. Starry skies fade in, glowing runes flicker, and dreamlike wisps envelop a sleeping figure. Excavations and sagas describe Viking seeresses entering trance states within dream tents. darkened spaces draped with runic banners designed to facilitate spiritual journeys. These women practiced cider, weaving intricate spells to enter or influence others' dreams, acting as intermediaries between gods and mortals. Archaeological evidence of enclosed chambers and ritual paraphernalia supports these accounts, highlighting a deliberately crafted environment for cognitive and spiritual modification. These trance rituals followed strict patterns involving chanting, smoke, and symbolic objects, opening portals into dream realms where fate and prophecy could be revealed or altered. Such practices weren't mere superstition but structured, intentional journeys into the unknown, central to Viking spiritual life and decision. At Viking sites such as Birka, archaeologists have uncovered unique sleepsticks, small bone tablets inscribed with runes arranged in specific sequences. These dream glyph arrays acted as visual maps to capture and interpret dream visions. Unlike standard runes used for everyday writing, these scripts encoded complex sequences of images and emotions experienced during dreams, enabling seers and clients to track symbolic narratives and prophecies. Some tablets correspond closely to mythological stories, suggesting a methodical and culturally embedded approach to understanding dreams. This evidence reveals that Vikings treated dreams not as fleeting illusions, but as structured texts to be read, preserved, and integrated into their cultural, spiritual, and legal frameworks. Peat bogs near Viking settlements have preserved pillows filled with potent herbal mixtures. Chemical analysis reveals residues of mugwort, valerian, and henbane plants, with sedative and hallucinogenic properties. These dream pillows served as more than mere bedding. They functioned as neuropharmaceutical tools designed to enhance or shape dream states. The herbal compounds likely helped induce vivid, meaningful dreams or protected sleepers from malevolent spirits and nightmares. This practice reflects a sophisticated understanding of the mind-body connection, blending botanical knowledge with ritual healing. Such protopsychopharmacology illustrates how Viking daily life incorporated natural remedies to navigate the spiritual and psychological realms accessed during sleep. Excavations have revealed lattice frameworks charred by charcoal residue found suspended above sleeping areas. These nightmare catchers were intended to filter and trap evil dreams before they reached the sleeper. This aligns with folklore describing protective charms used to ward off malevolent spirits and harmful visions. The burning of herbs and pitch created smoke believed to purify the air and disrupt spiritual intrusions, acting as a form of air fumigation. These artifacts demonstrate a proactive approach to dream hygiene, reflecting the cultural importance Vikings placed on mental and spiritual health. Dreams were battlegrounds between forces unseen, and these devices reveal an early form of spiritual and psychological defense deeply embedded in Viking, domestic, and ritual spaces. Dr. Freya Lindgren, a neuroarchaeologist, interprets these findings as evidence of early cognitive modification techniques. The combination of trance spaces, dream scripts, and botanical sedatives suggests Vikings practiced a form of protopsychopharmacology aimed at shaping consciousness. Folklorist Professor Magnus Haraldsson adds, Icelandic legal codes recognized dreams and nightmares as admissible testimony, highlighting their profound social and judicial significance. Their insights bridge archaeology and anthropology, illustrating a culture where dreams played vital roles in law, medicine, and spirituality. Together, these expert voices illuminate how Viking society integrated mystical experiences with practical governance, revealing the deep power and purpose dream lore held within their world. A digital 3D reconstruction animates a Viking dream tent, intimate shadowed space adorned with rune-inscribed banners that encircle a sleeping figure. Herbal pillows release fragrant smoke, filling the air with a mystical haze as the dreamer drifts into trance. This immersive scene captures the convergence of magic, medicine, and culture that defined Viking dreamlore. Sleep emerges not as mere rest, but as a sacred portal connecting realms, where visions held the power to shape fate and influence the waking world. Viewers are invited to step into this liminal space and glimpse the ancient art of dreaming as a vital thread woven into the fabric of Viking life. The last light of day sinks behind rolling hills, casting a soft amber glow over a modest Viking settlement. Turf roofs and wooden beams silhouetted against a purple sky. The village slowly stirs as families converge toward the Skaldshutter, place sacred to stories, song, and the unseen worlds. Inside, the heavy scent of burning juniper and sage mingles with the faint tang of sea air drifting through the open door. Sigrid, the revered dreamseer, moves gracefully among gathered elders and villagers, preparing birch bark staves inscribed with intricate runes. Nearby, Eric, a gaunt farmer marked by restless nights, takes his place beneath a canopy woven with glowing rune banner symbols meant to shield and guide. Carrie, the herbalist, arranges pillows packed with fragrant valerian and mugwort, while Bjorn, the chieftain, watches with keen eyes, eager to glean counsel from the night's mysteries. The air buzzes with quiet anticipation, a ritual woven of belief, hope, and the shared need to understand the hidden paths of fate. Under a canopy of woven runes that shimmer softly in the hearth's flicker, Eric lies tense and alert, his breath clouds in the cool air, each inhale steady but weighted with the night's burden. Sigrid sits nearby, her hands steady and practiced, carving a fresh dream script stave from birch wood. The knife's edge whispers softly against the grain as she murmurs ancient chants, imbuing the wood with power to bind Eric's spirit, protecting it from the dark forces lurking beyond mortal sight. Each rune she carves is precise, a symbol forged from centuries of wisdom. The atmosphere thickens with anticipation as Eric's eyelids flutter closed, the line between waking and dreaming blurring. This ritual is both shield and bridge fortifying the dreamer's mind, while opening portals to visions that may warn or guide the community. The hush in the room speaks volumes, a sacred moment where fate might reveal itself through sleep. Suddenly, the stillness fractures. Eric's eyes snap open, wild and wide, voice raw with terror. The fields burn. The harvest is lost. His body convulses as icy sweat beads down his temples. Carrie moves swiftly, her movements precise and urgent, gathering fresh bundles of rosemary, juniper, and mugwort. Her fingers crush the herbs with reverent care before tossing them into a smoking brazier. Thick, aromatic tendrils rise, filling the hut with a pungent earthy haze believed to cleanse spirit and air alike. Around Eric, voices rise in chant, weaving protective incantations meant to sever the grip of toxic dreams and malevolent spirits. The nightmare's shadow lingers, but its hold weakens as smoke curls and dances, purifying the sacred space. This blending of herbal medicine and ritual underscores the Vikings' holistic approach to healing a world where the physical and spiritual intertwined inseparably, and the health of body and soul were fought with equal fervor. The rhythmic beat of a drum pulses softly as Sigrid begins the trance of cider. Her eyes glaze over, lips parting in a low, hypnotic chant, voice steady and unwavering. The warm burn of mead courses through her veins, fueling the ritual's power. Smoke curls around her figure, flickering shadows playing across her rune-carved garments. With practiced ease, she weaves words that pierce the veil between worlds, recounting Eric's visions aloud. Her voice paints ominous images of looming raids, famines, cruel grip, and cosmic signs cloaked in mythic symbols. Around her, listeners are entranced, suspended in a liminal space where time bends and fate becomes malleable. The cider trance is not mere spectacle, it is a bridge between dream and waking, prophecy and reality. Each word is a thread in the tapestry of communal destiny. As night itself transforms into a living canvas where the future is glimpsed and shaped. In the vaulted great hall, heavy with smoke and whispered tension, Bjorn convenes rival jarls in a rare show of unity. Beneath looming beams carved with ancestral runes, the leaders sit in solemn council, their faces etched with both weariness and resolve. Bound by the shared dream vision delivered by Sigurd, they raise hands in a pact on oath, sworn not only with spoken words, but sealed in the sacred state of sleep. Ritual stones, inscribed with binding runes, glow faintly at their feet, amplifying the gravity of the moment. This dream oath transcends superstition. It carries the full weight of Viking law and spiritual authority. Clans once poised for conflict now stand bound by vision and word. Their alliances reinforced under the watchful eyes of gods and men. The air vibrates with solemn power, testament to the profound role of dreams as instruments of governance and peace. Carrie sits by the hearth, her hands deftly weaving herbs into soft cloths. Valerian's calming scent mingles with mugwort's sweet earthiness as she crafts a dream pillow destined for Bjorn's wife. With quiet reverence, she presents the fragrant bundle, promising restful sleep and protection from ominous visions that might disturb the household's peace. The pillow symbolizes more than comfort. It is a tangible link between botanical wisdom and spiritual care. Its soothing aroma is believed to ease troubled minds and invite auspicious dreams, a blend of medicine and magic handed down through generations. As the recipient cradles the pillow, a sense of relief softens her features, a quiet hope that the night's shadows will give way to calm. This act encapsulates the village's intertwining of faith, healing, and community, a ritual bomb against the uncertainties lurking beyond the waking world. Beneath the silvery glow of a full moon, the entire settlement gathers at the sacred altar, a place marked by rune-carved stones and the soft flicker of torchlight. One by one, villagers stand to recount their dreams, each tale weaving into the communal fabric, creating a living mythos that binds past, present, and future. Sigrid listens attentively, interpreting symbols and guiding understanding with practiced wisdom. Offerings of mead and freshly baked bread are laid before the altar, honoring the Aesir gods and invoking their favor. The festival thrums with ancient power, an electric pulse of shared belief and hope. It is both a release and a reaffirmation, a communal breathing space where fears are faced and destinies entwined. The night itself seems alive, charged with the sacred breath of countless dreams converging in one place. A deep, resonant drone of chanting fills the smoke-thick air, weaving around the sharp, resinous scent of burning herbs like juniper and sage. Gentle footsteps tread softly on packed earth, as whispered prayers ripple through the gathering, the collective breath of a community suspended between worlds. Flickering candlelight casts dancing shadows on rune-etched walls, while the distant crackle of peat fires adds texture to the soundscape. A cool breeze slips through open flaps, carrying with it the faint aroma of dried flowers and damp wood. The tension is palpably anticipation, trembling like a flame, fragile and fierce. This sensory tapestry envelops all who participate, drawing them deeper into the sacred ritual. It is a moment where the boundary between waking and dreaming thins to near invisibility, and the community stands united on the threshold of the unknown. Before the first pale light of dawn, Eric wakes with a sudden clarity. His eyes snap open, wide and steady, voice firm yet quiet. I saw the raid before it came. The power of the dream ritual is undeniable. The night's visions have transcended sleep to become prophecy. Around him, the quiet presence of witnesses confirms the sacred nature of his awakening. Trust in dreams is no longer fragile superstition, but communal law etched into the collective consciousness. Eric's resolve hardens, the burden of foresight settling like armor. In this moment, dreams transform from mysterious phantasms into guiding beacons offering counsel, warning, and protection to those who heed them. His clarity fuels the community's vigilance, strengthening bonds and steeling hearts for the trials to come. The settlement stirs as dawn spills soft light across fields and rooftops. Villagers move through morning rituals with practiced rhythm. Milking goats, tending hearth fires, sharpening weapons and tools. Yet beneath the ordinary hum of work lies the weight of the night's revelations, shaping decisions and strategy. Sigrid consults runes alongside Bjorn, tracing patterns that suggest threats or opportunities. Kerry grinds herbs and prepares salves infused with protective plants, ready to treat mind and body alike. Dreams are woven into practical action, planting crops, guided by omen, organizing defense preparations, and administering healing rites. The boundary between mysticism and everyday life is fluid, the spiritual thread tightly stitched into daily survival. Each task carries purpose beyond itself, informed by the sacred knowledge brought from the world of sleep. As the sun climbs high, villagers retreat to shaded groves or cool interior spaces, seeking respite from labor. Stories from the Festival of Dreams ripple softly through whispered conversations. Children mimic dream visions in playful enactments, their laughter mingling with the rustling leaves. Kerry brews calming herbal teas, carefully balancing ingredients to soothe nerves and ease tension. Sigrid offers counsel on interpreting lingering nightmares, helping to transform fear into understanding. The rhythm of daily life pulses with dream wisdom, reinforcing social cohesion and preparing minds for the approaching night. This midday pause is sacred, a moment to absorb insight, nurture bonds, and renew strength in body and spirit. Dusk settles slowly, bathing the village in golden hues. Families gather once more to ready themselves for night's uncertain passage. Fires are banked carefully, runes on doorways checked and refreshed, and protective herbs arranged by thresholds. Eric sharpens his senses, alert for signs foretold in dreams. The air is thick with tension and hope, a cyclical dance of fear and faith, ritual and reality. Conversations grow quieter, eyes scanning the horizon as shadows lengthen. The promise of night carries both peril and prophecy, as the community braces for what the darkness might bring. In these moments, the living and dreaming worlds converge, woven tightly in the endless northern sky under which they survive. In the dim glow of flickering candles, a communal altar stands as the sacred heart of the village. Rune-carved stones, each etched with symbols of protection and prophecy, form a circle. Interspersed with scattered raven feathers, tokens believed to carry messages from the other world. Villagers gather silently, faces illuminated by the soft, wavering firelight. Eyes heavy with the weight of last night's visions. This space is more than physical, it is a threshold where personal dreams dissolve into a shared narrative, binding individual fates into the community's tapestry. The air is thick with anticipation, the quiet broken only by the gentle crackle of burning herbs. Here, the boundary between the waking world and the realm of spirits thins, allowing dreamers' insights to become communal truth. As the ritual begins, the villagers prepare to give voice to their subconscious fears and hopes, transforming ephemeral visions into the glue that holds society together. With dawn's first light filtering through wooden shutters, the village council convenes in solemn assembly. Each member recounts the dreams that haunted or inspired them through the night visions of shadowed figures, foreboding storms, or bountiful harvests. These stories are carefully dissected, the symbols and omens woven into a single communal narrative that guides vital decisions on warfare, diplomacy, and survival. Dreams are not dismissed as mere fantasies, but revered as messages from the gods and ancestors, offering warnings and wisdom. Elders debate the meaning of cryptic images, tracing connections between dreams and recent events, seeking patterns that might foretell the future. This collective interpretation transforms fragmented, personal experiences into a powerful compass for the village, forging unity through shared understanding. The act of gathering and interpreting these visions strengthens social bonds, reinforcing a worldview where fate is a communal endeavor, not an isolated mystery. Dreams held profound legal weight. Contracts and alliances were often sealed by oaths sworn by the deity I saw in my sleep. Such sleep-bound vows carried the same force as those spoken aloud before witnesses, embedding the supernatural within the fabric of governance. The threat of divine retribution for breaking these dream oaths was real and terrifying, serving as a powerful deterrent against betrayal. In heated councils, rival leaders would clasp hands over rune-inscribed stones, invoking the solemn authority of their shared visions to bind agreements. Nightmares, too, were interpreted as judgments, capable of influencing legal disputes and community standing. This intertwining of the dream realm and earthly law elevated sleep to a sacred space, where social order was negotiated and enforced. Dream-bound promises transformed intangible visions into tangible obligations, weaving spirituality deeply into justice and political stability. Not all dreams brought honor or comfort. Those tormented by relentless nightmares faced grave suspicion. A villager plagued by dark visions risked being branded a witch or cursed, accused of inviting spiritual contamination upon the community. Nightmares were believed to signal divine displeasure or malevolent forces seeking to disrupt social harmony. Such stigmatization often resulted in social exile or mandated ritual purification, isolating the afflicted to protect the group's well-being. Villagers might mark the accused with symbolic charcoal or ash to denote their status, reinforcing exclusion. These practices served as a means to enforce communal norms, punishing those deemed dangerous to the collective psyche. In this way, dreams became tools not only of insight, but also of social control, reflecting a culture deeply invested in maintaining order through spiritual and psychological boundaries. Near sacred springs, smoke-filled sleep huts offer refuge for those burdened by troubling dreams. Villagers seeking relief enter these dim chambers, where fragrant herb sage, mugwort, and juniper burned in slow, spiraling smoke meant to cleanse restless spirits. Chanting and ritual gestures accompany the fumigation, guiding malevolent forces away and restoring peace to troubled minds. Within these sanctuaries, healing is holistic, melding spiritual purification with community care. The rhythmic chants echo off wooden walls, weaving a protective atmosphere that soothes and strengthens. Here, medicine and magic converge, reflecting a sophisticated tradition that recognizes the mind's vulnerability and resilience. The dream healing rites are as much about reclaiming agency over fear as about curing affliction, emphasizing the villagers' commitment to shared well-being and the sacred balance between worlds. Dr. Sigrid Thamson, a cultural psychologist, explains how Viking communities externalized internal fears through elaborate ritual. By transforming nightmares into shared symbols and ceremonies, they converted private dread into collective strength. These ritualized expressions of fear functioned as social glue, allowing communities to confront uncertainty openly while reinforcing trust and cohesion. Far from mere superstition, such practices operated like modern security protocols, layered defenses of the psyche as well as the body. Thompson highlights how the communal processing of fear through ritual empowered individuals, turning vulnerability into resilience. This externalization also provided a shared language to articulate and manage anxiety, fostering solidarity in the face of danger. Through collective ritual, Vikings harnessed the intangible power of belief to maintain order, morale, and hope in a precarious world. Dream gatherings were more than mystical ceremonies, they were the foundation of Viking social cohesion. As villagers shared their visions, whether harbingers of doom or blessings, they knit themselves into a collective psyche stronger than iron. These nightly councils forged bonds that transcended mere survival, creating a culture where dreams carried the weight of law, morality, and identity. Bound by firelight and faith, the community transformed individual vulnerability into shared purpose. In the darkness, dreams became the threads weaving society's fabric, affirming belonging and guiding action. This sacred interplay of vision and solidarity fortified the village against external and internal threats alike, demonstrating that in the world of Vikings, belief was as tangible a force as steel. The night breathes with whispered voices, the soft murmur of prayers weaving through the smoke-laden air, the sharp, resinous scent of burning herbs, juniper, sage, and cedar drifts lazily, wrapping the village in a protective haze. Candle flames dance against rune-etched stones, casting flickering shadows that twist and curl like spirits awakened. The rustle of fabric, the low drone of chant, and the distant call of owls blend into a haunting symphony that pulses with ancient power. A cool breeze slips beneath wooden flaps, carrying the faint, bittersweet scent of dried flowers and peat. This sensory tapestry envelops all gathered, suspending time and space, binding them in a moment where the veil between worlds thins. In this liminal space, dreams are not private wanderings, but shared journeys, their meaning forged in firelight and collective breath. Beneath the Viking hearth, a circular trench lies hidden, its walls lined with rune-carved stones and soft beds of fragrant moss. This sacred dream pit was more than a shelter for rest. It was a carefully crafted sanctuary designed to guide the sleeper's unconscious mind. The architecture combines ancient knowledge of perception and altered states, creating an environment where dreams could be summoned, shaped, and understood. Villagers who entered this space sought cosmic insight, spiritual healing, and visions to direct their fates. The moss's subtle aroma blends with the cool stone's texture, inviting the senses to awaken into a liminal state. Here, physical space and ritual converge, becoming a portal where the boundary between waking and dreaming dissolves. The dream pit's intentional design reflects a deep understanding of human cognition, harnessed to channel prophecy and healing in the dark of night. The walls of the dream pit were sculpted to create an acoustic environment. Unlike any other, curved stone surfaces and carefully spaced carvings amplified whispers and chants into a resonant hum. This low-frequency sound entrained the brainwaves of those resting within, gently nudging them into trance states where lucid dreams and prophetic visions could flourish. The echoes wrapped sleepers in a cocoon of sound, blurring the line between the material world and the realm of spirits. Villagers' chants intertwined with the natural acoustics, creating a living symphony that guided the mind deeper into altered consciousness. This design was not accidental. It was a deliberate manipulation of sound to influence neurological states. The whispering walls became instruments of cognitive transformation, enhancing the potency of ritual and opening gateways to hidden knowledge within the dreamscape. Moss-lined corridors within the dream pit funneled delicate vapors of mugwort and other sacred herbs directly toward the sleeper's nose. These botanicals, long prized for their dream-enhancing and protective properties, activated the limbic centers of the brain, modulating emotion and memory during sleep. The scent created a neurological invitation to vivid dreams and clearer recall, blending botanical science with spiritual practice. As the gentle herbal smoke curled through the air, it wove through nostrils and nerve endings, subtly influencing the sleeper's journey through the subconscious. This olfactory stimulus was an ancient form of dream hygiene, an intentional scent path, designed to cleanse the mind and usher in meaningful visions. The ritual use of fragrant herbs was a deliberate bridge between body and spirit, showing the Vikings' profound connection to nature's medicines as tools for navigating the unseen. Candles strategically placed near rune-carved stones cast flickering shadows across the dream pit's ceiling, forming shifting patterns that danced like living symbols. These shadows were more than decoration. They acted as visual anchors for the dreamer's mind, planting seed images that would bloom into vivid, symbolic dreams. The play of light and darkness created a dynamic tapestry connecting the solidity of stone with the ethereal nature of sleep. As the runes' flickering forms morphed and merged, they engaged the brain's visual centers, guiding the sleeper's imagination and weaving mythic narratives into the dream experience. This interplay of candlelight and carved symbols was a form of somatic anchoring, a ritual stimulus designed to embed sacred motifs deep into the unconscious. The dream pit thus became a living canvas where the visible and invisible realms met, and vision took shape in the shadowed dance of flame and stone. Feathers delicately tied to wrists and fingers provided gentle, tactile feedback during sleep, serving as somatic anchors for the dreamer. These soft, whisper-light touches reminded sleepers to remain conscious of their dream states, to catch omens and messages floating through the night. The sensation bridged the physical body with the dream realm, grounding abstract visions in tangible reality. This subtle touch encouraged active engagement with dreams, fostering lucidity and control amid shifting sleep landscapes. The practice reflects an intimate understanding of the body-mind connection, where sensory cues support spiritual awareness. In this way, Vikings employed not only sound and scent, but also gentle physical reminders to enhance dream perception. The feather's delicate brush against skin became a ritualized signal, knitting together flesh, spirit, and vision into a unified experience of nocturnal insight. Anthropologist Professor Leif Gunnarsson reveals how Vikings engineered their dream pits as multisensory instruments, what he terms oneirogenic architecture. This design employed sound, scent, light, and touch to shape cognitive states during sleep deliberately. Gunnarsson explains that these spaces were early examples of neuroritual engineering, blending material culture with spiritual practice to amplify communication with unseen realms. The careful placement of runes, aromatic herbs, and acoustic carvings was no accident, but a sophisticated understanding of human perception and altered consciousness. Such architectural spaces served as spiritual laboratories, where dreamers could access prophecy, healing, and divine counsel. Gunnarsson's insights bridge archaeology and neuroscience, showing that Vikings harnessed sensory environments to sculpt the mind's nocturnal journeys, transforming sleep into a communal and sacred act. Dr. Navin Patel, a neuroanthropologist, elaborates on the neurological effects of the dream pit's sensory cues. He describes how rhythmic chanting combines with olfactory stimuli like mugwort vapor and flickering shadows to entrain brainwaves, facilitating memory consolidation, emotional regulation, and heightened dream recall. Patel points out that these ancient practices mirror modern therapeutic techniques used in sleep clinics to treat nightmares and enhance sleep quality. The integration of sound, scent, and visual stimuli guides the sleeper through stages of consciousness, blurring boundaries between waking and dreaming. This ancient, multisensory orchestration reflects a profound awareness of the mind-body nexus and demonstrates continuity in human approaches to healing and cognition. Patel's perspective highlights how the Vikings' ritual environments anticipated contemporary neuroscience, crafting safe spaces where vulnerable dreamers could navigate and transform the mysteries of sleep. A vibrant 3D animation traces the dream pit's multisensory design. Sound waves ripple along curved stone walls, scent molecules drift through moss-lined corridors, and flickering rune shadows pattern the ceiling in dynamic, symbolic forms. This immersive tour reveals how Vikings constructed a living dream machine, blending architecture and ritual to engage body and spirit alike. The animation illustrates the entrainment of brainwaves by whispering walls, the diffusion of dream-enhancing herbal vapors, and the somatic cueing of feathers brushing skin. Each sensory element is mapped in real time, showing their combined effects in guiding sleep, cognition, and spiritual communication. The sequence closes by pulling back from the glowing chamber into the night, where the boundary between worlds seems to dissolve. This living alchemy of stone, scent, sound, and shadow stands as a testament to Viking ingenuity crafting spaces, where dreams shaped destiny and minds wandered the mysteries of the unseen. The camera moves through a pristine, clinical sleep laboratory, where patients recline, fitted with IG headsets tracking their brainwaves in real time. Technicians monitor glowing screens filled with rhythmic waveforms, while digital dream journals on tablets log fragmented nocturnal narratives. Nearby, guided imagery sessions unfold, inviting participants to visualize calming dreamscapes, aided by subtle aromatherapy diffusers releasing gentle mists of lavender and chamomile. Though this high-tech environment seems far removed from Viking halls, the core human quest remains unchanged: to understand, shape, and harness the mysterious world of sleep. Beneath layers of modern technology, the age-old desire to decode dreams and find meaning in the night echoes across centuries, bridging cultures and eras. The ambient hum of machines mingles with whispered encouragements, setting the stage for a journey where ancient wisdom and modern science converge in the shared pursuit of mastering the mind's nocturnal voyages. Virtual reality technology now crafts immersive dreamscapes, transporting users into vividly constructed worlds to confront fears, stimulate creativity, or enhance therapeutic outcomes. This cutting-edge approach mirrors the Viking practice of constructing dream tents, draped with runic-inscribed banners, sacred spaces meant to evoke visionary journeys and open portals to other realms. Both methods rely on carefully curated environmental stimuli, designed to shepherd the mind into altered states of consciousness. While VR uses pixels and headsets, Vikings used shadow, symbol, and scent to invoke the unseen. This parallel reveals a deep continuity. Whether through digital immersion or ritual craftsmanship, humans seek to guide and influence their dreaming selves. In both worlds, technology and tradition fuse, illuminating the universal impulse to map the mysterious terrain of sleep with tools tailored to their time and culture. Modern sleep therapies incorporate essential oils like lavender, chamomile, and sandalwood, diffused to relax the mind and deepen sleep. This contemporary practice finds an ancestral echo in Viking herbal dream pillows, stuffed with botanicals such as mugwort, valerian, and henbane plants, known for their sedative and visionary properties. These aromatic blends engaged the olfactory system, modulating neural pathways to influence sleep quality and dream vividness. The Vikings' intuitive use of scent reveals a sophisticated grasp of the mind-body connection long before modern pharmacology. Aromatherapy served not only to soothe but to act as a subtle neurological nudge, shaping dream content and protecting sleepers from malevolent spirits or nightmares. This aromatic bridge between ancient and modern highlights humanity's enduring belief in scent's power to guide the night's inner journeys, blending biology with spirituality in a fragrant dance of healing and insight. Contemporary sound therapies employ binaural beats to slightly different frequencies played to each ear to entrain brainwaves, promoting relaxation and guiding listeners into deeper sleep phases. This scientific technique finds a remarkable cultural analogue in Viking cider chants. Rhythmic, drone-like vocalizations chanted in ceremonial grooves that lulled participants into trance states. These ancient incantations functioned as sonic dreamweavers, shaping consciousness and facilitating visionary experiences. The continuity of auditory dream manipulation across millennia highlights the power of sound to alter perception and mood. Whether through electronic pulses or human voice, these soundscapes entrain the mind, softening the boundaries between wakefulness and sleep. The Vikings' droning chants embody an early form of neuroacoustic therapy, revealing how sonic, ritual, and modern science both seek to guide the night's inner voyages, binding culture and cognition in shared rhythms. In today's world, individuals maintain dream journals and use digital apps to log nightmares, lucid dreams, and symbolic imagery tools for psychological insight and personal growth. Centuries ago, Vikings externalized dream experiences through carved sleep sticks, bone or wooden tablets inscribed with dream glyphs representing visions and omens. These runic scripts were not mere records but communal texts, used to interpret, share, and validate dreams within the tribe, sometimes even serving as evidence in legal matters. Both modern and ancient practices transform ephemeral mental experiences into tangible forms, allowing dreams to be analyzed, remembered, and woven into cultural narratives. This act of externalization reveals a deep human need to capture the elusive nature of dreams, making the invisible visible and turning personal mysteries into collective knowledge. The runic dream scripts stand as early ancestors of today's dream journals, both bridging the worlds of mind and society. Dr. Emma Clark, a contemporary sleep psychologist, articulates how modern therapeutic techniques align with ancient Viking practices. Both prime the environment and the mind to shape targeted dream experiences. Clark emphasizes that, whether through clinical methods or ritual, creating safe, focused spaces is key to dream mastery. Neuroscientist Dr. Navin Patel further explains how architectural features, from Viking dream pits to modern sleep labs, modulate sleep states by combining sensory inputs that influence neural rhythms, he highlights how the Vikings ritualized dream environments, anticipated modern understandings of brainwave entrainment and cognitive modulation. Their multisensory approach acted as an early sleep laboratory embedded within culture, where spiritual and scientific knowledge converged. Together, these experts illuminate a profound continuity between past and present, showing that the quest to understand and harness dreams transcends time, culture, and technology. Dreams weave a continuous thread through human history, a universal domain where fear, hope, and imagination intertwine. From the run-carved chambers of Viking dreamers to the clinical halls of today's sleep clinics, the human impulse to explore the night's hidden landscapes remains unbroken. We seek not only rest but revelation, using evolving tools from sacred ritual to digital apps to navigate the subconscious. This timeless quest reflects deep primal needs: to find meaning, to anticipate danger, and to heal mind and spirit. The Viking dream world, rich in symbolism and practice, reminds us that dreams are more than fleeting images. They are living narratives shaped by culture and consciousness. As modern science continues to unlock sleep's mysteries, the echoes of ancient dream rituals affirm our enduring connection to the night's sacred journeys. From carved runes glowing softly in Viking darkness to the luminous screens of modern digital dream logs, humanity's relationship with sleep is a story of fascination and adaptation. The Vikings' mystical dream journeys, blending magic, ritual, and natural science, resonate within today's cultural and clinical explorations of the unconscious. Whether by flickering candlelight or lead glow, we continue to seek understanding of the unseen realms that emerge when the conscious mind yields. This shared journey across time reveals a common human desire to harness the night, to face the unknown, and to find wisdom within dreams. In tracing the arc from ancient dream pits to contemporary labs, we glimpse an enduring human spirit, restless, curious, and ever seeking the light in darkness. Dawn breaks gently over a mist-cloaked fjord, casting pale light upon the quiet dream pit, now still and reverent. The air is crisp, carrying the faint scent of moss and smoke from distant hearths. Inside a timber-bird hall, Sigrid, the dreamseer, carefully gathers her carved runes and worn staves. The morning light catching their ancient edges, each symbol holds the stories of countless nights' visions recorded, warnings heeded, futures shaped. Meanwhile, in a modern bedroom, a sleeper gently closes a digital dream journal app. A satisfied smile reflecting understanding and insight gleaned from the night's cryptic messages. This quiet moment bridges centuries. The ancients who lived and ruled by their dreams, and we who continue to seek meaning in sleep's shadowed realms. What we call dreams, they called destiny threads, woven into the fabric of life and law. Their rituals remind us that sleep remains a frontier rich with mystery and power. A place where the unseen whispers truths waiting to be heard. Tonight, let your dreams speak freely. Record them, interpret their meanings, and honor the midnight visions that once shaped kingdoms. The final image lingers on a single run-carved sleepstick, bathed in the warm rays of sunrise, timeless bridge between worlds, old and new, inviting us to step once more into the realm where dreams hold sway.